This episode,
we exit the M1 at Junction 11 for our FAB Fact.
There's a new mastermind on Alpha.
Chris's Randomiser adventures continue.
And you can hear the first 15 minutes of the brand new Space 1999.
That's all coming up in Pod 65
of the Gerry Anderson podcast.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's get started.
Let's go.
Spectrum is green.
The Gerry Anderson podcast with Jamie Anderson and Richard James.
Order!
Let's not get political here, Richard.
I'm not getting political. I'm just drawing everyone to order to settle down and listen to the latest Gerry Anderson podcast.
That's quite right too. I do enjoy the way Burko says order, though, actually, to be fair.
I know, but this, Jamie, is a little oasis from the real world, isn't it? Whatever's happening out there, this is your opportunity to switch off and indulge in a little bit of Gerry Anderson nostalgia and excitement.
Absolutely. So we hope you had a rather nice weekend, whatever you've been doing, or week, depending on when you listen to this. Anyway, Richard, we should tell them who we are. You are...
Richard N. James, and you are...
Jamie Lionel Anderson. That really is my middle name.
Yes, I know, to the Gerry Anderson podcast. We're here for the next hour and 20 minutes or so, probably, with all the usual gubbins and some new stuff as well. We've got Quickfire 5s, of course. We've got Chris Dale's amazing randomiser coming up. We've got the voice of the Podstrons, that's listeners' emails. We've got my top 5 tweets of the week. We head on over to the Podstrons Facebook page and see what they've been up to. And also, of course, everyone's favourite part of the podcast, Fab Facts.
Yes, all right, Richard, thank you very much.
Also, in the script here, Jamie, it's I think it's a little hangover from last week because he says the interview is part 2 with James Bond director John Glenn.
Yeah, okay, fine. Yes, sorry, I've been in a bit of a rush this morning. As you know, I have had some transportation issues today and yesterday. No, this week there is no interview.
Right.
But rather excitingly, we have a joint exclusive with the Big Finish podcast, and that is the first 15 minutes of Space 1999 Breakaway.
Yes, now that's not the TV series, of course, you're talking about. That's a brand new audio adventure from Big Finish.
It is exactly that, yes, Richard. Nice plug.
Yeah, there you go. Available from Big Finish and the Gerry Anderson store, of course. Well, I understand the special edition has gone, hasn't it?
It has. I've got a preview version right here. Yeah. And I know our podsterons can't see, but it is rather nice.
There it is, look.
And inside, Richard, is a little booklet. I'm making a mess here. Little booklet, the Gerry Anderson Photo Archive.
Right.
With a little tiny selection, as I'm showing Richard right now, of some rather nice behind-the-scenes bits and pieces, some nice artwork.
Yes.
Nice eagle pictures. Anyway, so if you order the special edition, if you manage to get one of those, then congratulations. They will be on their way quite soon.
They sold out like radioactive rods, didn't they?
Yes. Is that a phrase that people use?
It is now.
Okay, good. Yes, bizarrely. And I'm going to try and weave in at least one clip from the special extra download feature that special edition purchasers will get in their inbox very soon, which is a chat between me and Nick Briggs, but also featuring some archive clips from Dad from a previously unheard interview. Lovely. So I might drop maybe 1 or 2 of those into the podcast as a preview.
Lovely. Yes, I think we should reserve the right to go a little bit Space 1999-y this week, shouldn't we, really? As, of course, it's Breakaway Day on the 13th. Everybody knows the date on which the moon was blasted away from the Earth's orbit. So that might well be mentioned a few times throughout the podcast.
In many ways, this is a sort of Space 1999 Breakaway Day special because it's coming up this week.
In many ways, it is.
Good, we should have called it that, shouldn't we?
We should. It's a bit late now, isn't it? Why did we?
Yeah.
We just didn't think, did we?
No, I never do. Oh, well. Anyway, look, Richard, wouldn't it be weird if this week we also ended up with a Space 1999 Fab Fact?
Oh, well, that would be simpatico, wouldn't it?
It would be. Let's see, shall we?
Let's see.
As we go into this week's Fab Facts.
Now, time for this week's Fab Facts.
As many of you will know by now, but some may not if you're a newcomer to the Gerry Anderson podcast. It's a bit of a listener's favourite, this section, isn't it, Richard?
Is it, Jamie?
Maybe. It's not a Richard James favourite section.
It's your favourite, isn't it?
But it is my favourite, yes. I've got a book of Fab Facts written by the lovely late Simon Archer. It's full of, well, Fab Facts. to be frank.
Yes, it is.
I'm going to flip through the Fab Facts book. Richard's going to shout Fab at a random point.
Aha.
I will stop on the spread at which he shouts Fab, and then I shall pick out a random fact. And let's hope for a Space 1999 fact.
Oh, that would be wonderful, wouldn't it?
So, Richard, here's the book. Are you ready?
Born ready.
Cue your Fab.
Fab!
Oh, okie dokie. We are on the spread of page 42 and 43, which is the same spread as last week.
Oh, is it? Oh, I must have mistimed my Fab.
That's all right, don't worry. I guess maybe I left the book open and it sort of found itself naturally there.
Yeah.
But on 43, Richard, I've got some good news for you. And this also will allow me, rather conveniently, to insert an archive clip.
Oh, okay.
So first of all, here's the fact.
Yeah.
One particular episode of Space 1999 was entitled The Rules of Luton.
Yes.
American scriptwriter Freddie Freiberger, who also worked on the early series of Star Trek, was inspired by a signpost at Junction 11 on the M1 motorway. Now, it sounds unbelievable.
It really does.
That somebody would see the name Luton and feel inspired by it and think, oh, it sounds kind of alien.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not far wrong.
It's true. Well, Lee Sullivan lives there, you know, so
yeah, well, nothing
all
against
makes
Luton.
sense now. So, to prove that it is a real Fab fact, here is a brief clip with Dad talking about how this happened and his reaction when he heard from Freddie what he wanted to call this story.
I got on very well with Freddie. We had a very, very good relationship. He brought a certain amount of American style to the scripts, some of which I thought were just awful. He came in one morning and said, I've written a script about talking plants. It's called The Rules of Luton, or The Rules of Laton, I think he said. I said, The Rules of Laton? And he said, yeah, I saw it on a signpost on the way in. I said, oh, you mean Luton? Oh, Luton. Was that what he said? The Rules of Luton. So that's how it was named. And I didn't go along with a lot of stuff that he wanted to do. But he was a very nice person. We had a mutual respect for each other. It was very pleasant working with him. And I enjoyed the second series. And there are a lot of people in the States who like the first series and totally and utterly condemn the second series, and vice versa.
Isn't it sweet?
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah, it's funny. At least it's actually interesting because we learn a little bit that there's a slight fondness that Dad had for Fred Freiberg, although one might assume because of Series 2, not so much. But there you go. Yes, I mean, it's not often one is inspired by a very plain and slightly ugly English place name, is it?
But you can imagine, though, to an American eye and ear, Luton, you know, it sounds
Luton.
exotic and alien, doesn't it? Yeah, it's rather like now, even Nicholas Briggs is guilty of this. I did a Big Finish Second Doctor adventure a few years ago called the ISOS Network, and there was a character in there called Hilsea, which I believe is a small town in Hampshire near Southampton.
Oh.
And Nick was saying he would see it on his journey to and from the Big Finish studios every day, and decided to incorporate it into a story. Thought it sounded sufficiently alien.
Well, I am also slightly guilty of that. I'm actually just looking up the exact reference. Now, yeah, I called a planet Tamar.
Oh yeah, okay. The River Tamar, of course.
Yeah, I didn't realise that. I just thought, well, that sounds cool, doesn't it? Yeah, I like that. And I'd obviously heard it a few months before.
Yes. Well, it's the river that separates Devon and Cornwall, isn't it, I think?
Oh, thanks, Richard. Bless you for knowing that.
Yeah.
What a clever chap you are. Anyway, so we're all guilty of it
We are. It's true.
to some degree.
Well, it's
But,
rather like the lost Season 3 episode Doctor Who and the Robots of Hemel Hempstead.
Absolutely.
You know,
the
we're all guilty of it.
Zygote invasion of Milton Keynes. Yeah. If only we'd seen those happen.
Now, I've been to Milton Keynes, and I would guess it had been invaded by the Zygons.
It's full of roundels, isn't it?
It
I mean,
really is.
roundabouts. Anyway, Richard, there you go. That Space 1999 themed fact and clip brings us very neatly to the end of this week's
Luton Fact. Very good. There we are. Good old
Perfect.
Luton. It must be quite a rare thing for Luton to get a name check on any podcast, I would think. So there we are. Glad to do them a service.
Yeah. Quite right too, we did it.
Yeah, you're listening, of course, to the Gerry Anderson podcast. Now, do not forget to subscribe to us on whichever platform you're listening to us on. If you do subscribe to us, it means you get a little notification every time a new episode appears, and it makes sure that you don't miss a single podcast. Also, while you're there, you can leave us a nice review, you can rate us, and of course, hit share and share us with all your friends so they get to see us and listen to us too. You can tweet us on Twitter. Just use the hashtag Gerry Anderson Podcast, and you can tag him, I'm Jamie Anderson, or me, Richard N. James. You can email us at podcast@gerryanderson.co.uk, as many people have been doing. And finally, why not join our Facebook group? If you're on Facebook, head on over to facebook.com/groups/podsterons and join in the fun.
What a pro you are.
I like to think so.
Everyone thinks so, Richard. It's amazing.
I know.
Oh, no.
Right, okay, Jamie, now, are you ready for some special Space 1999 quickfire fives?
Oh, I'd love some.
Right, okay. Eagle pilots, Alan Carter or Season 2's Bill Fraser?
Oh, Alan Carter.
Has to be, doesn't it? Deputy medical officers, Bob Mathias or Season 2's Ben Vincent?
I feel like I'm being a bit anti-season 2 here, but give us a bit of Bob.
Season openers, Season 1's Breakaway or Season 2's The Metamorph?
Need you even ask?
What would have been Season 2 of UFO, or what became Season 1 of Space 1999?
Oh, I would
Yeah.
love to have seen UFO Season 2, so
me
just
too.
for fascination, that.
Absolutely, yeah. And finally, Space 1999 compilation films, yes or no?
Sorry, David Hirsch, who I know is involved. No.
There you go, your special commemorative Space 1999 Quickfire 5.
What a mouthful.
Yeah, very good, Jamie. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it, about how UFO became Space 1999
It certainly is.
and what would have happened there. I guess.
I'm going to mention that in the news.
Oh, okay. I'll
So,
shut up then.
I mean, you can say I guess anyway.
I'll say, I guess, and I'll just leave it there.
Oh, leave it hanging.
Yeah, we'll come back to it later.
Okay. Well, I look forward to that. Are you going to be doing anything particular to commemorate Breakaway Day, Richard, on the 13th of September?
I'm going to be wearing my Moonbase Alpha polo shirt and
Great.
tucking into several, I think, chocolate caramel wafer snacks throughout the day.
Oh, nice.
Yeah?
I'm guessing
Yeah.
the brand name there might
Tunnocks.
be...
Yeah.
yeah, oh, they're great.
And you?
Well, now you've mentioned Tunnocks, I could eat a load of those.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I'm spending the 13th of September 2019. It's so hard not to say 1999.
Yes.
With a couple of rather special people doing a rather special interview for some rather special upcoming podcast features, which I will drop some more information about through the rest of this episode, Richard.
Oh, you tease.
What a devil I am.
Yeah, aren't you? But of course, the day after, Jamie, we're spending time together, aren't we?
I'm very excited. Oh, actually, I'll tell you what I'm doing on the evening of Friday the 13th of September.
Yeah.
Nick Briggs and I are making our inaugural Booze Away Day,
Right.
where we're going to go and have a curry in the
Okay,
evening.
nice.
So
Very
there you
good.
go. So that's a nice way we'll be toasting our departed friends on Moonbase Alpha
That's a great idea.
and lamenting the loss of the moon.
Excellent, excellent. And I shall be seeing you the next day at the BFI for a bit of Doctor Who-ery.
Yes,
Be fun,
which is very exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, what an amazing couple of days. I'm looking forward to it.
Great.
Anyway, Richard.
Yes?
Shall we give our listeners some Gerry Anderson news now?
It's what they've come here for.
Here it is. What is it, Richard?
Newsy, news, Jamie.
Nice. That's a hashtag of its very own that it's got its
Yeah.
own life, hasn't it, on
Yeah, it
Twitter?
really has. Yeah.
Probably. Anyway, lots of you, in fact, thousands of you, have entered the giant Gerry Anderson giveaway.
Yes.
Because you can win over £1,000 worth of stuff, including a Blu-ray player, every DVD and Blu-ray and audio CD and book and stuff.
Yeah.
Giving you the most complete Gerry Anderson collection available right now. So if you haven't already done that, what are you doing?
Yeah, what? Why? Why would you not do that?
Go and get in there. And just for clarity's sake, once you've entered, you get 1 point, which is equivalent to one entry.
Yeah.
If you confirm your email address and say, yes, this is correct, you get 10 more entries. And
I
then
see.
after that, you can add on hundreds more entries by doing special bonus actions like subscribing to the podcast. If you've already subscribed, just confirm your subscription. If you have written a review, then you can just say, yes, I left one under this name, or write us a new review. All that sort of stuff. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can write us a product request on the shop. There's loads of ways you can do it, like 20 different things. And so you can end up with thousands of entries, which actually massively increase your chances of winning.
Yes.
So if you've only entered by popping in your email address, then your chances are pretty slim. So get over there, look at the bonus actions. We're adding new bonus actions every week, and you could win. And also, there's 10 of you who are going to win a Gerry Anderson gift card with randomly assigned values between £5 and £100 to spend on the Gerry Anderson store as you wish.
Yeah,
so
that's great.
it's not just about the big prize. There's other stuff going on too.
And this is throughout the whole
There
of
you go.
September.
Yeah, running through all of September, closes on the 1st of October. Yeah, that's it really. And don't worry, if people try and cheat by signing up with loads of fake email addresses and stuff, then they get automatically disqualified. We had somebody try and do that last time we ran a giveaway, and they were disqualified.
I bet I know who that was.
Yeah, I do too.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah. But the great thing is, actually, when you visit that website, you can see people live signing up. It's quite interesting. Just sit there for 5 minutes, see all these people signing up. You think, well, I better get involved.
Yeah, it's lots of people signing up. But the nice thing is, if you get somebody else to sign up, then you get 100 points. They only get 1 point. So actually sharing it and getting others to sign up increases your chances a lot more than the person who's just signed up, if you see what I mean.
Yeah, nice.
So you can also share it with us. Anyway, there we go. Enter the giveaway. Lots of goodies. Richard, do you know Samira Ahmed?
Oh, yes, I do. Yes, we follow each other on Twitter.
Oh, and where might one have seen or heard of Samira?
Crikey. Journalist, broadcaster. I think she does Newswatch on the news channel and various other newsy things.
She does some radio stuff on BBC Radio 4. She's a huge Space 1999 fan, and she did a fantastic article about 1999 in the most recent TV Years Sci-Fi edition. Still available from the Gerry Anderson store. Well, Samira has just recorded...
Who's not available on the Gerry Anderson store.
She is not, no. She has just recorded a special celebrity edition of Mastermind, in which her specialist subject was Space 1999.
Oh, nice.
Now, you can't see this until Christmas, but if you pop along to Twitter, you can see pictures of her doing Mastermind in her Moonbase Alpha Year 1 uniform.
Oh, love it.
Which she borrowed from the very kind and supportive Jim Winch, who's got an amazing collection of stuff, and also provided the uniforms for the cast photos for the Space 1999 audio Breakaway thing.
Yeah, great.
So she looks great in that. She carries it off really well. She loves Space 1999. And I can also add that Samira is one of the people I will be doing my special Breakaway Day chat with. At the end of this week.
Yeah,
so
interesting.
There you go. That is exciting. More 1999 stuff, Richard.
Oh, brilliant. Bring it on, I say.
Would you believe there's more? Now, you've already mentioned how Space 1999 was born out of an aborted attempt to do a second series of UFO, haven't you? Yeah. Well, of course, our resident historian...
What? Have we got one?
...of television...
Oh, I see.
Chris Dale...
Yeah.
Also the host of the Randomiser, has done a fantastic article all about... how and why UFO 2 became Space 1999. An article which he's cleverly titled UFO 2 1999.
Oh, I see.
You see?
That's very
See what
good.
he's done there?
Yes, that's very nice.
So it's interesting. You may not have known some stuff in there. And if you did, he's got a couple of nice pictures, a nice sketch by Bob Bell of the potential UFO moon-based command, etc. So isn't it interesting how sometimes... aborted attempts at one thing lead to rather special new things.
Yeah, absolutely right. Yes. Yeah. You're suggesting we should scrub this podcast and start again, aren't you?
No, no, I'm not. I'm not suggesting that at all.
Now,
anyway,
I've got another couple of bits of news, Jamie, actually, that I feel I should mention. Firstly, of course, at the end of, or rather, beginning of next week, that's September the 16th, on the Monday, it'll be time for Fab Live, which is our almost monthly Facebook and YouTube and Periscope and Twitch and whatever broadcast thing that we do.
Whatever.
Yeah, but it is live, and of course you can watch and you can comment, and we can see your comments, so it's very interactive, which is lovely. And what we love to do is show your pictures and read out your comments and so on, and get a real conversation going. So if you have any thoughts or pictures of your cosplay or toy collection or whatever it might be, do send them in to fablive@gerryanderson.co.uk, and then join us on Monday evening, the 16th of September at 7 p.m. on Facebook or on Twitch or Periscope or YouTube.
Yeah,
and join in
all
with
those.
Fab Live.
Yeah, and one of the games that people love to play on that is super magnification, isn't it, Richard?
Yes, that's
So
right.
will that be happening this month?
Well, one of their favourite items, of course, is Big Rat Bites with Chris Dale. Will that be happening this time, Jamie?
Who knows? Our approach is not slapdash, but it is a little bit creative on the fly.
Yeah, let's say that, yeah. And finally, I think we should mention the death this week of Terence Dicks, who, of course, contributed so much to the world of Doctor Who as a script editor and writer, and also novelist with Target Books. I mean, I remember poring over tens of his novels when I was growing up, but also, of course, wrote Space 1999's The Lambda Factor.
He did.
I think he absolutely deserves an honourable mention this week.
Absolutely, yeah. Another bit of sad news, but what an amazing body of work to leave behind.
Exactly, as ever. Yeah, it's lovely.
So, yeah, thanks for that, Richard. Okay, well, I think that brings us slightly sadly, but perfectly correctly, to the end of this week's Gerry Anderson News.
There you go.
That's going to throw people for a perler. Is that a phrase? Probably not.
I don't know. It's a bit like selling out like radiation rods, isn't it?
Yeah,
But there we are. Well, people whistle it, don't they? I do. I whistle it as I go around the supermarket doing my shopping.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
But it's weird for you not to have sung it. I feel a bit...
A bit bereft. I'll get my kazoo out next week.
Oh, we could do a kazoo chorus of that.
Right. You're on.
Done. Richard James.
Yes.
It's your turn for a quickfire 5.
Right.
This time with a sort of numbersy theme.
Right.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Perimillennial sci-fi years.
What?
1999 or 2001.
Oh, I see. Ooh, crikey, that's difficult. I'm going to have to say 2001.
Okay.
Yeah,
Ouch.
such a seminal
Or
film.
1999.
I know.
Thunderbirds. Let's put this to rest forever. Was it set in 2026 or 2065?
Well, here and now,
Yep. Your final call.
2065. That's it.
Ouch.
We have
Nice.
spoken.
Okay. Favourite Zeroids? D's Wheat or 101?
A 101. Yeah.
Terrahawk's call signs. Do we make it a 1040 or a 1090?
I'll go for a 1040.
And finally, Space Precincts 2040. Is it the year the show is set, or is it just a badge number?
Yeah! Oh, the perennial argument. Well, I'm going to have to go. I think it's They See who agrees that it might just be the year in which it's set. I know.
Controversial,
I know.
Richard
And
James.
I think even I have shifted position from when I wrote Space Precinct Unmasked, where I think I say categorically that it's not the year in which it's set. But I think there is
interesting.
compelling evidence. I think AC has evidence that it is indeed, judging by the dates of birth and so on of the characters that appear on the little identity cards in the opening credits, that 2040 could conceivably be the year in which it's set.
Interesting.
Yeah.
There you go. You heard it here first, or possibly second or third, Podsterons.
Yeah, there we are. You say
It might
interesting.
possibly be. Yeah, I mean, is it realistic that, I don't know, maybe, 2040, could we be out that far in 20 years' time?
Yeah, but it certainly would mean that, well, certainly Lieutenant Brogan is out there somewhere. Castle's been born. She's probably a young girl.
Yeah, that's true.
So, keep your eyes peeled.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Well, thank you for settling those various things, Richard. I'm sure everyone will agree entirely with your decisions.
Of course, they're all proper and correct. Now, I think we should mention, of course, the Facebook group. The Podsterons Facebook group is a very active group, a very lovely and friendly group as well. And for example, this week, Ian Jacklin has been posting Italian DVD cover art for Thunderbirds to the Rescue and Thunderbirds in Outer Space. Heather Ballard has set a silly caption competition using a still from Captain Scarlet. And Carl Scott is asking, is £53 too much to pay for a 1970 UFO annual? I mean, I should Coco. 53 quid. Depends how much you want it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's, value is down to someone's desire, really.
Yeah, exactly. Also, they'll be getting into the Space 1999 spirit on the evening of the 13th of September with a watch party featuring, of course, Breakaway. So join the group and you can join in the fun. Chris Baker posted, continuing my pod marathon, I've now got to the first 12 under my belt while keeping up with the new ones from 61, and I must congratulate you guys on keeping it fresh, as the kids say.
Do they say that?
I've never heard them. I've learned a lot about the wider and sometimes weirder worlds of Gerry Anderson. Well, just doing our job, Chris. Alan J. Porter said, I just ate dinner with a couple of actual Thunderbirds pilots. The American aerobics team was doing a display today in Cleveland, Ohio, and I I just arrived here for a day job related conference, all staying at the same hotel, and I got chatting to a couple of guys in the hotel club lounge. You have to when you see someone in a flight suit and with a Thunderbirds patch on their arm, right? It's pretty cool, isn't it? And finally, over on the Facebook group, Terry Adlam posted a picture and deserves a special mention. This is our own Terry Adlam, of course, Dick Spanner scribe and all too frequent podcast guest, for completing the Maidenhead Half Marathon last weekend, wearing what else but his Dick Spanner long-sleeve T-shirt.
And he looks very smart in it too.
He does. Well done, Terry. Congratulations. The latest of umpteen half marathons he's run, I think.
I know. It never ceases to amaze me how Terry keeps running everywhere. It's almost like he's been
chased,
trying to get away from something or someone. Yeah. Anyway, keep it up, Terry. Very pious of you. Is it pious? Not
Is
pious.
it
No,
pious?
that's offensive, isn't it? I don't mean that. I mean very.
I don't think he's doing it for religious reasons.
No, what's the word I mean, Richard? Come on, help me out. My brain's failing. No. I'll think of it later. Anyway, probably cut this bit out.
Really? No, keep it in.
Oh, dear. Anyway, look, our Podstrons have also been sending us emails, Richard.
They have.
And I put them in the fridge. Do you want to open them?
What, like this?
Oh, it's cold now, isn't it?
Oh, sorry about that.
This is the voice of the Podsterons.
That's the worst one we've ever done, probably. But it's only our lovely Podsterons. They're not that scary and cold after all.
Yeah, sorry about the squeaky door on the fridge. I must get that fixed.
Yeah, you need to get some WD-40 on that. Oh, dear, Richard. Anyway, what have we got?
Well, we've got a couple of emails this week. Keeping it a little bit shorter because we've got the first exciting 15 minutes of Space 1999 Breakaway just around the corner. And I know a lot of people want to get to that as quickly as possible. So I have one here from Jonathan Westall, who says, Dear Richard and Jamie, so he's all right in my books.
Of course he is. Thanks, Jonathan.
He says he's really enjoying the podcast. It's the highlight of every week.
Oh, that's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, he's obviously got a very empty diary.
It must be.
Anyway, he says, I have an idea for you. Would it be possible to do an audio series of New Captain Scarlet with Big Finish, with Wayne Forrester and all the original cast? It would be great to hear more adventures of Spectrum and maybe have some stories following the other captains, Magenta, Grey, etc., as they didn't have a lot of screen time in the TV series. Keep up the good work. SIG, Jonathan Westall. P.S. he says, it was my idea for the Benji and Nick show to discuss both versions of Captain Scarlet. You're welcome. Ah, thanks, Jonathan.
Nice.
Yeah, great.
Oh, well, Jonathan, thanks for suggesting that to Benji and Nick.
Yes.
They did a nice job.
They did, it was fun.
I think I made a very quick appearance on that podcast as well.
You did indeed, yes.
Didn't mean to.
Yeah.
Now, we'd love to do New Captain Scarlet with Big Finish, and it has been discussed very briefly.
Yeah.
Very, very briefly. Right now, we've actually got quite a lot going on in the background with Big Finish. Obviously, there's more Space 1999 to come.
Yeah.
There's some other stuff that we're doing, possibly. I couldn't possibly say.
Right.
But it's certainly on the list of potential things. And obviously, with pretty much all the voice cast still with us,
Yes.
it makes sense to try and make the most of that. So let's see, possibly in due course. By the way, I've just remembered, I think Terry Adlam is very virtuous for all the running he does. That was the word I wanted.
That was the word I was
Pious.
looking for.
Virtuous.
Yeah. I
Sorry.
think smug will do, to be honest.
He's also smug, but
Who played Captain Black in the New Captain Scarlet series? You can't remember?
I can't remember. I'll look it up.
Oh, well, I'm just thinking, if there is an opening, if ever you do the audio New Captain Scarlet and you're looking for someone to give voice to Captain Black, just throw him
Then
back in
I
the ring.
should probably get another cold.
Oh, what, you think you can do it?
I can do my Mistron voice then, can't I?
All right.
Oh, sorry, Richard. Did you want to do it?
No, it's all right. Go on, read out the next email.
Okay, fine. So I've got one here from Robert. Robert says, Felicitations, good sirs.
Oh, hello, Robert.
He says, I know that sometimes you take ideas from people for merchandise ideas, and I'd like to suggest something.
Oh, yeah.
Could we please have some Harmony Angel merch?
Ah.
In my humble opinion, she is the best of the Angel flight, and we need more stuff of her, like t-shirts and hoodies and such. Regards, Robert.
Great idea.
Well, do you know, I just thought Chris Thompson did a fantastic Angels design for a t-shirt when we were doing, best of 3 t-shirt limited edition things last year or the year before.
Yeah.
I'm sure that never got used, so maybe we could pop that on some merch.
Yeah.
Angels sequence. Yeah.
I mean, it might be nice to have a range of T-shirts with each one featuring a different angel, mightn't it?
Yeah,
Just a
that would be
thought.
great.
Yeah.
I'm sure we could have a go at that. So thank you, Robert. We will put that into the merch, piley pile.
Yeah.
And someone's knocked on my door. Back in a sec. Richard!
Yes.
Hang on. I've just received a large box of stuff
Right.
from Big Finish Productions. I don't know what it is.
How exciting.
Hang on. I'm just...
It's not one of their lovely lunches, is it?
Well, if it is, I wouldn't be too disappointed.
Yeah.
Let me have a look.
Exciting.
Oh! I'll tell you what it is.
Yes.
But this is exciting. It's all of the Big Finish items for the big Gerry Anderson giveaway.
Wow. Okay. So, like what? What have you got in there?
In here, I have Captain Scarlet and the Mysterons Special Edition 50th Anniversary box set.
Yes.
Terrorhawks Volumes 1, 2 and 3.
Great.
Captain Scarlet The Spectrum Files 1, 2 and 3.
Ooh.
And Space 1999 Breakaway.
Nice.
So don't forget, you can win all those and more.
Yeah.
It's perfect timing, really.
How
that
timely, yes.
happened.
Exactly.
There we go. So, anyway, what were we doing? I've
We're
forgotten.
just finishing off Jonathan Westall's... No, it was from... it was Robert,
Robert's.
wasn't it? Robert's email. Yes.
Okay.
That's it. We were talking about the angels and so on. So, there we are. I think we... so do drop us a line. podcast@gerryanderson.co.uk. We'll try and read your email out next time. We do get an awful lot during the week. So apologies if we don't get to you. We do try and give it a fairly even spread and pick names that we haven't mentioned before. But do send them in and we'll do our best to read them out.
Yes. podcast@gerryanderson.co.uk and all
Indeed.
that stuff.
Yes. There. Right. Have you got your breath back now?
Just about, Richard. Yeah. Do you want to take my breath away again with your amazing top 5 tweets of the week?
That's the best offer I've had all morning.
Okay, take it away, Richard.
5,
First of all, Jeff Owen got in touch on Twitter saying, I've listened to every episode so far, and so should you too, of the Gerry Anderson podcast. Very entertaining, very funny if you like Gerry Anderson's shows and films.
4,
Alan Porter said, delighted to hear this week's Fab Fact on the Gerry Anderson podcast about the Concorde/Thunderbirds connection. My first job out of college in 1985 was writing tech manuals for Concorde, something I'd never imagined possible as a kid watching Thunderbirds. Isn't that lovely?
3,
Richard Burnett says, heavy day at work, so just listening now while packing for a 5-day visit to Leeds to see the family. How lovely, Richard. Hope you had a good time.
2,
The Radio Times' very own Morgan Jeffrey tweeted, if you're a James Bond fan or a Gerry Anderson fan, or both, thoroughly recommend checking out the last couple of episodes of the Gerry Anderson podcast for a fantastic 2-part interview with director John Glenn.
1,
And finally, Gerry Anderson TV tweeted, we just noticed that the very clever Chris Dale made the Terrorhawks primer a very special length. We see what you did there, Chris. And looking at the screen grab posted underneath, we can see that it lasted 10 minutes and 10 seconds. 10:10.
10-10, Chris.
Very nice. Yeah, do get in touch with us on Twitter. You can hashtag us, quite simply, Gerry Anderson Podcast, and we'll see your tweets, or you can tag him, I'm Jamie Anderson, or me, Richard N. James, and we'll get back to you almost instantaneously, I think.
Will we?
Yeah, well, we'll try.
I can't necessarily guarantee that, Richard.
Well, I've got nothing to do, so I certainly will.
Oh, fair enough. We will do our best. And we do love connecting directly with our listeners. In fact, something I've been trying to do, possibly in vain, over the last couple of weeks, is to reply to more direct emails from Gerry Anderson fans all over the world. And
Yeah.
I've done about 200
Wow.
in the last 10 days.
Yeah.
But my inbox is just completely flooded and out of control now. So, yeah, when you do send these emails in, we really do read them, and we try to respond if we possibly can. Just sometimes it's not viable to
That's
do
right.
so.
Exactly.
So keep dropping us a line through whichever medium you see fit.
Yeah, indeed.
Carrier pigeons excluded. Anyway, Richard, coming up right now,
Yes.
we've got a rather special exclusive for listeners of the Gerry Anderson podcast, don't we?
Yes, I'm so looking forward to this. I'm just going to settle down with my coffee and give this a listen.
Yeah. So, as most of you will probably know, all of you must know by now, surely, if you've got to this far in the podcast.
Yeah.
Big Finish have done a reimagining of Space 1999, and that series is being kicked off with a 2-hour special version of a reimagined Breakaway.
Amazing.
And we have the first 15 minutes here exclusively just for you right now.
Great.
Sector 2. All clear for connectors.
Nuclear waste shipment ZZ1023 is
Sector 2 containment field at full power.
Waste shipment 990 Alpha 4, now ready for storage.
all the way to tube, please. That's it. There she goes.
Secure all atmospheric seals. This is Dr. Russell. Medical checks show A-OK.
Get out of here. Cut it out. No! 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 I want
I'm detecting a spike in vital signs.
Moonbase Alpha, 9th September 1999. Daylight cycle commences.
Hold him steady.
That's it, nearly there.
For emergency, we've got another one.
Get him over here. Now. Come on, move it. City. That's all we can do.
International World Television broadcasting throughout the world.
Just like the others. And now he'll fall into a coma.
Around the globe. Coming up later, we go to New York for the latest on the nuclear waste disposal treaty talks. But right now, for all you space enthusiasts out there, it's Space 1999.
And today, with rumors leaking of minor ailments among the crew,
Minor,
the Space
my
Commission
ass.
assures us the Metaprobe is go.
Well, that's a bunch of crap. Turn it off.
Our guest today is Space Commissioner Simmons, a man whose name has become synonymous with the Metaprobe mission. Welcome to the program, Commissioner.
Very happy to be here, Petra, as always.
Do you have an update from the medical team on Moonbase Alpha concerning the health of the Metaprobe crew?
I do indeed. They're fighting fit.
So the rumors aren't true?
A couple of the crew have had mild cold viruses, but their mission training schedule has not been interrupted, and they're making a full recovery. We have scrupulous standards for the health of our astronauts, so the slightest change in their status is reported to me directly. In this case, it will...
Yes, Dr. Russell.
Sorry if I'm interrupting your morning coffee, Commander. But I've got another astronaut sick, just like the others, just as hopeless.
Blown out of all proportion.
Presumably, you'd attribute any negative interpretations to the growing feeling among the world population against expenditure on space exploration.
Well, let's not overstate that point of view, Petra.
And yet, there are members of the Space Commission itself who have openly spoken about concerns relating to the spiraling costs of projects such as the Metaprobe, when many people feel other issues should be prioritized.
Well,
issues such as nuclear waste disposal, world poverty, starvation.
all valid concerns, Petra, perfectly valid, absolutely. But I have always said that mankind should adopt an holistic approach to its future. It's not about choices. It's about pushing ahead to find solutions to all these problems, in tandem with looking to the stars, where our race's future ultimately will lie. Space science has given us a lot of the answers to problems here on Earth, and I don't doubt that it will...
Perhaps at this point, it's worth reminding viewers of how we got to where we are now.
I'd be happy to outline the successes of the space program.
Our legacy correspondent, David Harris, has been looking at the history of space exploration.
After the Apollo missions of the 1960s and early 1970s, space exploration was very nearly abandoned as public pressure mounted for money to be concentrated on problems down here on Earth. But by a whisker, funding was granted for a base on the moon. After its initial classified military duties, that base was greatly expanded and converted into the International Moon Base Alpha we know today. 311 personnel serve in a perfect self-sustaining artificial environment. Their mission statement: to forward the frontiers of human knowledge and science. And most recently, that mission has included hosting the Meta Probe, which is due to be launched from a platform orbiting the moon. But now, many say that even the International Space Commission has senior council members who are highly skeptical about the benefits of spending vast sums of money on sending a few astronauts to a planet 5 light years away, which may or may not be inhabited.
This is Earth Orbiter Station 1 controller to Eagle Shuttle 4409er. You are cleared for departure to Moonbase Alpha.
Acknowledged, controller. Can I confirm full flight path clearance? We want to get our VIP to Alpha as fast as possible.
The flight path confirmed. No holdups. You are cleared to go.
Acknowledged. Couplings unlocked. Engines hot.
Coffee, Commander Koenig?
Oh, yeah, sure. Thanks.
The live link camera and sound are set up.
Yeah. Yeah, good. Thanks.
They should be coming to you any moment now.
Yep. I know. My big moment.
Gorski, can you turn that damn thing off? I'm trying to have an important conversation with you.
Dr. Russell, there is no point taking this out on me. As commander of Moonbase Alpha, I have my orders, and I have no choice but to stick
Damn your orders, Gorski. These people are sick. 4 of them have died already, and I haven't got a damn clue why or how or what. I keep applying for specialist medical help from Earth, and you keep blocking my calls. I've got 3 patients here, totally unresponsive to treatment, in a critical condition. Do you get that?
Do you really think it's appropriate for you to speak to me in this way?
Because of your rank? Hell, you won't even be commander the moment that Patsy Koenig arrives from Earth. So why not go out in a blaze of glory and do something useful for once in your damn life?
I shall note that last remark in my final disciplinary report, Doctor. Thank you.
Dr. Russell, we've lost Nordstrom.
Did you get that, Gorski?
That's cause for celebration.
Gorski!
You replaced Moonbase Alpha Commander Gorski?
Yes, of course I did.
Then, for God's sake...
I'm afraid this changes nothing. As you say, I'm about to be replaced. The matter is out of my hands now, Doctor.
Asshole!
Okay, people. Let's get prepped for the autopsy. Maybe this time we can find out what killed him before it kills the rest of these poor bastards.
And
here we
John
go.
Koenig. I'm told we can now go live to him as he travels by Eagle Shuttle to take up his post as Commander of Moonbase Alpha. Can you hear me, Commander?
I can see and hear you loud and clear, Petra.
Perhaps I should have said returning to your post as Alpha Commander.
Well, yes, it was my honor to serve there, right from Alpha's inception, back in 1989.
Were you surprised to be recalled to your old job?
Well, not surprised exactly.
There you were, a popular high flyer and experienced pilot, promoted to Mission Control Commander of the Meta Probe mission. When you moved up, rumor has it that Commander Gorski got your old job because he was more of a pedestrian workhorse.
Well, I don't pay any attention to rumors, Petra.
All he had to do was oversee the increasing storage of nuclear waste on the moon. Some say he's no more than a waste depot manager.
Well, I never said that myself. And my appointment is a temporary measure just to facilitate the final Metaprobe launch procedures.
And what's your opinion on the mystery illness on the moon?
Pass me the extender.
Well, now, how can I have an opinion on something that doesn't
Yep.
exist?
So would you like to outline exactly...
I thought I told you to turn that propaganda off.
What will you do if there is a case of...
Oh, did you see his smug face? Did you see that? What a smartass. Jeez, he is going to be worse than Gorski.
Koenig. Ah, Commissioner.
Well done, John. Petra was a little frisky today.
Someone's briefing against us. Any idea who?
I can only narrow it down to about a dozen members of the council.
Oh, that many. Are they going to shut us down?
It's too late for that, John. As long as everything goes smoothly, we're home and dry.
But is everything going smoothly? I mean, I'm not even sure why you're sending me to Alpha.
To calm a few jittery nerves, John, that's all. What Alpha needs now is an old, familiar face, someone they can trust. Gorski never really made any friends up there, and besides, I need someone running Alpha who's fully dedicated to the meta mission.
Well, I've put a lot of work into it, Commissioner. So it's my #1 priority.
This is Eagle 4409er. We are now in final approach to Alpha.
Acknowledged. Please follow standard coordinates. Your approach vector will be over navigation beacon Delta.
No problem. Acknowledged. What the hell?
Say again, Eagle.
I'm not sure.
What's going on? Grab hold of something and don't let go.
John, what's wrong?
Something pretty bad. I'm going through the cockpit.
Alpha, I'm getting red lights on all navigation and piloting systems.
We're showing a power surge on our scanners. Can you get a diagnostic?
I can't! Nothing's working here! Some sort of gravitational anomaly. I've lost control!
Pilot, what the hell?
Eagle 4409, come in. What's wrong?
Paul Morrow, is that you?
Commander Koenig.
The pilot's out cold. I got a total computer shutdown here, Paul. Something hit us.
What hit you?
No idea, but it fried the whole panel and shut us down. The lunar altimeter is the only thing working, and it just kicked in.
We have you on visual now. Commander, you're falling fast.
That's what the altimeter is saying, too. Looks like I'm just gonna have to bring her up on manual control.
Those things handle like a dead weight on manual. Yeah, I remember. I was the test pilot on their first flight.
Commander! This is Alpha main mission. Come in, Eagle 4409er.
He'll never make it.
If anyone's got a chance, he has.
Visual scan shows him still falling.
Commander, can you hear me? Come in! You are still falling. Repeat, you are still falling.
Like a stone, Paul. I know.
I'm dispatching rescue craft immediately.
I can pick over my demo records. It's no good. I can't get the motor. I'm gonna try a fuel dump ignition on the retros.
You'll blow yourself to pieces!
Oh,
What?
Come on.
That's
You
almost
can't
like a
leave it there.
cliffhanger. Well, we have left it there, and I'm not permitted to include any further material from Space 1999 Breakaway.
Well, do you know, I didn't take a single sip of my coffee up once that started.
Did you not?
It was gripping. I enjoyed that immensely.
Yeah, it is good. Do you know, we had an email a couple of weeks ago about somebody saying, oh, you're going to be replacing all my favourite characters and I've got such a strong image of it in my mind. Is that going to be a problem? Even for me, the first time, and bear in mind I was at the recording, so I heard it being done live, but the first time I heard the final edit, it still took me a few minutes to kind of accept the new characters.
Right.
But by the end of the first disc, essentially,
yeah,
I realised I was like, oh, I'm not even thinking about it anymore.
No.
It no longer became a challenge.
Yeah, that's right.
So if you felt that feeling listening to these new voices before Space 1999, be interested to know if it kind of went away for you in that short excerpt, or that you're still going, I'm not used to it yet. Trust me, you will get used to it. It's a bit like watching Thunderbirds and in the first few moments thinking, I can see the strings and they're really puppety. And then before you know it, that feeling is gone and you're connecting with the characters. And I think that's the thing that Nick has done really well in this, is that they are such real human beings.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, he's gone above and beyond to make them people that we can really connect with and understand, and I think he's done a great job there.
So important, absolutely. And of course, Jamie, I suppose many people might well be coming to Space 1999 for the first time and won't have those issues.
So, for them, it won't matter.
That's right, exactly. For them, this will be their Space 1999. That's the amazing thing, isn't it? And they then watch the TV series and go, oh, well, hang on, where's my Koenig? Where's my Russell?
Where's Mark Bonnar doing Koenig? I don't like this Martin Landau bloke.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, very good.
There you go. Well, we hope you enjoyed that, Posters. Let us know your 5-word reviews of the first 15 minutes to podcast@gerryanderson.co.uk.
Yeah.
And we'll read them out.
Yeah, absolutely. Interesting, when I was doing the Quickfire 5s earlier, the special Space 1999 commemorative Quickfire 5s, I was doing a bit of research on Wikipedia, as you do, and I was intrigued to read the words not to be confused with Space 1889, which turns out is a board game featuring Victorian space travellers.
Oh, is it?
It obviously took its inspiration from Space 1999 as a title, but it's rather sweet, isn't it? I quite like that.
Nice.
So there we are. They're putting that on the Christmas list, just so you know.
When you said a Victorian board game featuring space and time travel, I was thinking, like, actually from the Victorian era.
Did they have space and time travel in Victoria?
No, but even that, like, thinking about that would have been amazing.
It's great.
You mean it's a contemporary game
yes,
indeed. Set in a Victorian era.
I'm sorry, I should have clarified, Jamie.
I'm slightly disappointed by that now.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, well. Anyway, there you go. Yeah. There's Breakaway. Isn't that fantastic?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
I think it's rather exciting.
That's great.
Yeah, your copy's in the post, Richard.
Thank you.
So that's exciting. Now, this has been a bit of a 1999 special, and so now let me fully forewarn and tease you of the upcoming roundtable discussion that we're having about Space 1999. I've already said Samira Ahmed is going to be one of those people.
Yes.
The other person in that discussion is Kevin Fong.
Oh, right.
Now, have you heard his amazing podcast that's been out throughout the last few months about the Apollo missions to the moon? I think is it called 13 Minutes to the Moon or something like that?
It is, that's right. No, I haven't, but I know of them, yeah.
Okay, there you go. Well, go and have a listen to those if you're interested in the Apollo missions and space at all. So I'm going to sit down with Samira and Kevin for about an hour and a half and chat through everything Space 1999, everything sci-fi, what they loved, what they didn't love so much,
right?
Why they still love it now. Obviously, Kevin's going to have some really interesting insights in kind of the space program around 1969 in those kind of formative Genesis type years before Space 1999 was thought of and was produced.
Yeah.
It should be a really interesting chat.
Great.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Oh, lucky you.
It may be that Samira's wearing her year 1 uniform still.
Well, I mean, she did look great in it, I have to say.
She carried it really nicely.
Really, yeah, lovely.
So there you go. So that will be featuring in 2 parts in the next few weeks on the podcast. I think that's going to be an enjoyable one. And we've got so many more interviews to come, don't we, Richard?
Do we, Jamie?
Probably, yes.
Let's hope so.
Yeah, I've got an interview I'm recording in the next few weeks with Robert Sawyer, award-winning author and Gerry Anderson fan.
Great.
Obviously, we've got Ray Earl's chat coming up in the next few weeks, all about Captain Scarlet. And you've been adding to the pot with your contributions too, haven't you? How's that going?
Anyway, is it time for the randomiser?
Okay, Richard, let's have the randomiser. And while we're listening to that, we'll have a chat about interviewees. Here's Chris.
Last time on the randomizer. And now the conclusion.
You have done well, Surface Agent X20. Wait outside. I will question the prisoner.
Oh, where am I?
In Titanica.
What? Oh, the last thing I remember was being swallowed by an alligator. Oh, of course! It all makes sense now. The alligator must have been a fake alligator that gobbled me up and brought me to Titanica.
How did you find out?
Well, X20's rather unconvincing alligator costume, actually. I can't believe I didn't notice that last week.
Brilliant!
Oh, but where's the... now I understand. It wasn't me you were after, it was the randomizer here. You do know what exactly it does, right?
I cannot fully comprehend.
Well, it selects a Gerry Anderson episode completely at random, and then I sort of talk about it for a bit. Do you understand?
Understand? Of course I understand.
Oh, jolly good. I mean, it doesn't always go so well. I know some people aren't too keen on me.
You are causing chaos among the Terranians.
Well, sort of. I mean, it depends on the episode.
Keep up the good work.
Oh, thank you. And let's see what we have today. Ooh, there's some more Fireball XL5. Okay, yep, I'm happy with that. Well done, Titan. That's a jolly good choice.
Excellent. You are my special guest.
Oh, thank you very much. What's this? Oh, I say. Tea with Titan. What an unexpected treat.
Please honor me by drinking a rare delicacy. Octopus juice.
Oh, yummy. Yes, I've been wanting to try this.
Slave Marina, fetch us some seaweed tea. And
Marina, not that I don't appreciate the timely rescue and all that, but, you spilt my octopus juice. What's that? It's really... Oh. Well, I mean, I'll try anything once and all that. Still, rather grateful that I don't have to. Here's the granitoid tanks.
Titan very angry.
Ugh. So we're back with Fireball XL5, and an episode that I have reasonably strong memories of, I think. It's been a while since I've seen this one, but instantly we start with a reasonably iconic image for this series, I think. These tanks just rolling across the planet's surface wherever we are, driven by these rather odd and yet slightly sinister robots. And they're creeping up on the Mineral Research Laboratory.
I can't say I'll be sorry to leave this deserted world. We have been here for 6 months now.
I know, Samson. But we had to
I'm fed up of you telling me every day.
Could provide for the needs of men.
Oh, the professor had a list of Fireball XL5 episode titles on his desk there. I might have to go back and check and see what other... It looks like he had some more production paperwork on the desk there.
The man's laboratory and destroy. Repeat, destroy.
So one of the reasons this episode might have been made is they perhaps wanted to make use of whatever it was that Gerry Anderson was making the robot voice with. Because all the robots, the granitoids in this episode, are voiced by Gerry using that same, I think he called it a vibrator.
Good night. Pleasant dreams, Venus. We'll be ready for our medical check bright and early.
Venus has got very bad hair, but she's off to bed anyway, so I'm not going to care about her.
Good, she's gone. Now we can go and buy that.
Oh, thank you. You're reading my mind. Stop it.
It'll sure be a nice surprise for Venus's birthday. But that's impossible. We established there was no motivation whatsoever on 73.
But I tell you, the scanner
No motivation?
6 moving objects.
I suppose technically that's the correct thing to say, but that's a very odd turn of phrase. No, there's no motivation at all on this planet. It's complete lethargy.
Destroy all obstacles.
And these granitoid tanks are very cool little designs, just great big tank things with the cannons on the front and mounted on these caterpillar tracks. There's no design element that really makes them stand out. They kind of look like the base of the mole actually, but with these little wobbly antennae bits on the front.
Intelligence that have been seeking a home for years.
Yes, of course. The granitoids. But isn't there anything we can do?
And I really like that these guys know about the granitoids. It implies that they're... Well, they are an already known threat.
I must radio Space City for...
And everyone knows that they're totally invincible. And I wish we'd seen more of them in this show. I don't know what else you could have done with them, really, because in this episode they are just this sort of mass oncoming threat. And you've either got to just, confront them head on or get out of the way. But it's... they seem almost like a sort of... a threat, sort of on the level of, say, the Cybermen or the Borg, and they're only in this one episode.
To go into outer space.
Which is a shame.
I can't take passengers in Fireball. It's a patrol ship.
But I'd be no bother to you, Colonel.
So since we're facing a really serious threat from the Granitoids, the subplot in this episode is the old lady who runs the jazz record store wants to fly into space.
And I'll switch it through to you.
Okay. I guess. Why not? There's some of that wonderful Barry Gray jazz music. Fireball music, and especially the jazz tracks in this show, are just... so delightful. Especially because they very often play the tracks in full, while the puppets are, like they're doing here, dancing. Which just amounts to sort of bobbing up and down on the spot, waving your arms around. How long is this going to go on for?
Say, Matt, what's that contraption?
That's the shopkeeper, Steve.
It's called an Electra Orchestra.
Oh.
A kind of one-man orchestra run by electronics. I'll show you how it works.
Close up on these tanks. They almost look like they've got like scary faces. They seem to have like teeth on the front, and they almost look like they've got a pair of eyes. I'd like to see a model of these actually be made.
We've got to get a ship up here before those machines reach us.
They look very cool and very tough.
I'll give you a demonstration of the Electra Orchestra, Steve.
I didn't know.
Just like I said I would, Steve. I assumed you'd suffered a severe head trauma since I said it 5 seconds ago.
Grab a seat.
Here we go. Because one song wasn't enough, we've got time for another one. But it's a very good one. And again, we're dancing like drunken idiots. This is brilliant. In fact, actually, I like the way this episode is going. We have a pair of characters we don't know anything about, facing severe imminent danger, and our heroes are they're just goofing off this week. It's a lovely contrast. I hope the episode continues in this vein, actually. The XL5 crew don't lift a finger and just carry on dancing for the rest of the story.
Sir, Matt. Venus has got to hear this.
Yeah, one more time. Get her in here. The Granitoids seem to be wasting a lot of firepower just blowing up random rocks and tree stumps. I don't know how far they are away from the science base. I'd have to guess quite a way. This seems a bit of a waste of energy.
Planet 732 Space City. Come in Space City.
And I also like that in this series, either the planets have names like Iridius, which is an arid planet, or they're just numbered. The planets are either named after their defining characteristic, or they've just got a number attached to them. And there's literally no in between.
I'll handle this one. Fireball, XL5 crew. Report to control room at once. Granitoid tanks have landed on planet 7-3.
Oh, but we were dancing.
Not those things again.
Finished
with them.
Steve seems to think that they've fought Granitoids before.
Told me about them. He said that I was never to be afraid of him.
I'm sorry, Ma, but we have to go.
But I'm sure I could help.
So the Earth's history with the Granitoids, then, is evidently a multi-generational thing.
Can stop those tanks.
But wouldn't missiles do the job, Commander?
So again, that makes them seem even more like a huge threat.
I'd be worrying my head off if it was as simple as that, 90? Missiles? I don't know what you use for brains some days, Lieutenant.
Firing missiles at enemies, I mean, just... What are you playing at, Lieutenant?
Professor, can you rig something to get rid of these Granitoid tanks?
Well, now, that's some question, Commander. But I'd have to get your okay for the special apparatus I need.
You have my permission to go jump off the moon if it'll help, Matic.
Whoa, okay.
Something working.
Oh, that's good old Commander Zero. I've missed you on the Randomiser, Commander Zero, and your random eccentric outbursts.
Professor Matic doesn't hold out much hope for the gadgets he's making, does he, Steve?
I'm afraid not, Venus.
Oh, and by the way, Steve, happy birthday to me, apparently.
Coil, Robert. And for Pete's sake, don't drop it.
For me, I get down to drop it.
Oh, poor old Robert.
I'm fresh out of orange pills, Steve. I'll go
Orange
down to the
peel?
hold and get some supplies.
Oh, oxygen pills? I thought you said orange peel. God, I don't know what you're doing with orange peel.
This thing works, but we'll have to get mighty close to use it.
So Matic is evidently knocking together some contraption to take on the Granitoids. I would question
2 boxes of these.
how he feels
Vitamin capsules are over there.
safe building a weapon to defeat robots with the help of Robert, who is a robot.
Seen a crate that size in emergency stores.
Oh, yeah, that. It's a surprise, Venus.
Yeah, Venus, we're gonna put you in it and kick you off the moon.
That's funny. I could have sworn I heard a knocking sound then.
That's the inside of your head. That's your brain rattling around.
Steve, there isn't anything live in this crate, is there?
No, Venus. Nothing wrong.
You'd better come down and take a look, Steve.
Okay, Venus, as soon as I get Robert back to take over the controls.
Good heavens! Why, hello, Dr. Venus. Oh, I'm glad you came in.
Gosh, this is actually a rare moment for Fireball XL5.
Ah, Dowdy.
No.
In fact, I dare say it may be unique in that we have
Be angry. Do you
2 female characters talking to each other. I just suddenly noticed when Ma Doughty popped out of the box there. That's very rare for this show.
I can't turn back. We've got a strict...
I know, obviously, your attention's drawn to it more because Sylvia's doing both voices.
Colonel, I won't be a bit of trouble.
But yeah, that was quite a shock, actually. It's like, oh God, two women on screen in Fireball XL5 at the same time? What goes on?
Proceeding as planned. Approaching the man's laboratory.
Again, these robots look so goofy. They were actually, I think, reused. They were reused in this series later on in Trial by Robot, but they had originally appeared in Supercar. They were in The Lost City. And basically the only difference between how they looked in that episode and how they look here is they've written the letter G on their chests, just to remind themselves that they're granitoids.
Very well, Steve. Now you hear what Steve says, Ma. Yes, Venus, but I just wish you'd allow me to help.
I mean, let's face it, I've got to be more use than you.
I'll bring the Platon registering meter along, Steve, just in case there are any deposits of the mineral around.
Roger, Matt.
Yeah, 'cause we have one of those, Steve.
Oh, because I do wish they'd let me set foot on the planet.
Oh, so there's now 5 tanks advancing on, well, he said the clearing, but I thought they would be heading towards the base. I guess that means towards the clearing where Fireball has landed. It's going to be a rush job to get the scientists out of here.
Colonel Zodiac. Don't start raising your hopes, Doctor. Professor Maddock is by no means sure that his apparatus will stop those granitoid machines. They've got to be dispersed before we leave this spot. Come on, Matt.
Quite frankly, getting you two to safety is a lesser concern than just leaving these tanks to get on with conquering an otherwise empty planet. What was your reason for not taking off instantly again?
The man's laboratory coming into range.
And that's trying his machine in front of a back projection screen full of granitoid tanks. But it's not doing anything. If the tanks get much closer, can be able to start firing on them.
It's having no effect.
Fire.
Oh, so that's it. We're now... Oh, okay.
Sure, I can persuade him to go.
So there's apparently a rope ladder exit from Fireball as well. I assumed that when Fireball landed on the planet, it just landed flat, but... Yes, Steve said keep Fireball on free float. So apparently it's just hovering a few feet over the planet's surface. It seems a bit of a waste of resources.
We'd better take cover and try to make it to Fireball.
Yeah, but I sure hate to admit I'm licked. Say, look.
Oh, the tanks are approaching from all sides now.
The granitoid tanks are surrounding us. We can't reach the ship.
Maybe you could ask Robert to open fire on them. You do have an armed rocket there. No. And interestingly, the granitoids don't seem interested in firing on fire.
Everyone.
It's only a matter of time before those tanks destroy every piece of cover around.
Makes me think we should have just left as soon as we found the scientists and left these guys to it, Steve. But no, somebody had to be a big man and try to fight them off.
Stop! Granitoid machines. Stop!
She's gone crazy. I knew I should have.
Well, that's quite a thing when a character in Fireball XL5 accuses you of going crazy. But yeah, Ma Doughty is just standing in front of these tanks, telling them to stop.
Leave this planet. Go. Leave us in peace. Go.
Which I suppose is an act of great bravery on her part, considering that these tanks have, like, long-range rocket cannons.
I have the secret.
Her necklace thingy that her daddy gave her is, it's making the little granitoids sort of clutch their heads and wave their arms around.
Got to save her.
Hey, Steve! Hey, come back!
She's old, Steve. How many more years can she possibly have ahead of her? Don't do it.
Oh, the granitoids are waving their arms around like they're in a disco or something. Oh.
Return to Granitoid.
So the tanks have given up their mission to conquer this planet. Oh my god, that's a very scary close-up of Ma thingy there. Just utterly sort of bathed in shadow. It was making all the sort of, oh god, that was creepy. That was very sinister.
Going away.
For someone who's supposed to be heroic, she was looking like she was going to eat your soul then. Anyway, the tanks are very slowly running away.
But for a moment there, I thought me dear old pappy had let me down. You have to be tough to be an astronaut.
Well, yeah, you've sure shown them, actually. Ooh. A bit of a reaction on the Matt scanner there as well.
Plyton.
What?
Plyton.
What?
You see, Steve, that's the answer. Those unusual pearls Ma Doughty wears are made of Plyton.
Oh, I get it. So that's why the granitoid tanks were beaten. And I thought she had some power over them.
Well, she did, Steve.
I suppose I do like that, the day is saved by this little old lady. Again, it does make the XL5 crew look like a bunch of dingbats. Totally unable not only to help themselves get out of trouble, but even to sort of string two ideas together. Anyway, it's now Venus's birthday party, and of course they're holding it in the control room.
Control, this is Commander Zero. I want you to know that I do not approve of holding parties in the control room. But this is an exception. Okay, Matt, tear it up.
Yay, more music and dancing and everybody's here. And Robert's holding a balloon. That's sweet. And Zuni's wearing his little bow tie. And that leftover piece of supercar music takes us to the end of the granitoid tanks. And yeah, I really like that one. I like that for once the XL5 crew are facing an enemy that really feels like a genuine threat. And it's a shame that, they hint at the fact that these robots had caused them problems before. And that this had been happening over many, many years. It's such a shame that we never got to see the granitoids again, because like I said, they feel like there could be this sort of huge, powerful threat that's just lurking on the planet Granitoid. Evidently that's where they live. Like the Borg, like the Cylons. There was something there that could have been exploited into a larger element, not just of the story, but of the whole series, I think. But yeah, really nice enemy, a nice guest character, and best of all, some very funky Barry Gray jazzy XL5 music.
Sorry.
Is it?
It's over. Anyway, what a great episode of Fireball XL5 that is.
Oh, the randomizer? Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's done now. Chris, thank you. And despite the fact that we were having a discussion throughout that section, Richard, I did hear the thing about the fact that the granitoids were all played by
Yes.
By my dad.
How nice.
I didn't know that, because obviously everyone knows that he did Robert the robot.
That's right.
On our way home.
That's the one.
Etc.
Yeah.
But he did the Grand Toys too. I mean, that was a cost-cutting exercise, obviously, because they didn't have to employ another actor.
Of course.
But, yeah, lovely.
But how interesting also, the Granitoids, as Chris mentions, is sort of like a Borg could have been a continuing threat throughout the series and never re-emerged. Was there ever, I suppose the Hood, was there ever sort of recurring villains in any other Gerry Anderson series?
Master Spy in Supercars a bit. He was written out in the second series, I think.
Yeah.
Titan, obviously the main baddie, but no kind of returning guest as such, I don't think. Like, you know what I mean? There's, like Chris said, again, like the Cybermen return over and over again in Doctor Who. They're not always the baddie, nor the Daleks, but, you know, it would have been interesting, wouldn't it?
It would. I suppose so much TV in those days was sort of written to be viewed, well, it was skewed towards the casual viewer, perhaps, wasn't it? A bit more than TV is these days. So maybe, you know, the allure of a returning villain in the 1960s wouldn't have been so great as maybe it would be, you know, when the Daleks come back in Doctor Who today.
Yeah. Yeah, true, but they were kind of ahead of the curve with merchandising, so you would have thought that Keith Shackleton and co would have said, come up with 2 or 3 really good baddies and bring them back over and over again, and we can do toy lines of those.
Well,
I'm kind of surprised they didn't do that, because they were so ahead of their time.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, and some lovely music from Barry Gray, like Chris said as well. So
yes, always good. Thanks for that, Chris.
Yeah.
Great randomizer.
It was very good.
Before we go, just a very quick reminder, whatever you do after you finish listening to this podcast, why not subscribe to us on whichever platform you're listening to us on? Leave us a nice rating and review, and maybe share us with your friends so they can get to hear us too.
Oh, you're doing it again.
No, I'm doing it again.
Not maybe share.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah.
You know,
right.
we can't tell, you know, we're watching.
Oh, Jamie. Oh, you've got a bit scary now.
We're not really. But, you know, we would really appreciate it if you would finish off this podcast and then immediately text, call, email, or smoke signal a friend and tell them it's the best podcast in the world.
Yeah.
Because, you know.
Because it is. That's it.
It is on a Gerry Anderson theme, Richard. Now, we are still in the Apple Podcast top 5.
Amazing.
In amongst Made in Chelsea.
Yeah,
and
Strictly Come Dancing, I saw.
Strictly Come Dancing.
Yeah.
Chernobyl, and also Love Island, which still hangs around up there, loiters awkwardly, a bit like a bad smell.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we really appreciate you all listening.
We
and,
do.
You know, listeners and podsterons increase in numbers every month, and which is brilliant.
Yeah, very exciting.
And we love that. And in fact, the most recent John Glenn Part 2 was our biggest pre-release, release, and post-release days we've ever had on the podcast.
Amazing.
So thank you to all of you. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Either we're doing something right, or the rest of the podcast world are doing something wrong, or they love John Glenn. Yeah, that could be it. Anyway, let's see what happens with this week's Breakaway special. We hope you've enjoyed everything Space 1999 that we've been talking about.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, what a week.
Yeah, and that's it, isn't it? I mean, Breakaway Day is this week, this Friday.
Yeah, let us know how you're celebrating that, and send us some pictures if you can for the Fab Live. We'll
if you have a breakaway party, drop us a line, take some pictures, podcast gerryanderson.co.uk or fablive at gerryanderson.co.uk. It all goes to the same place.
I've just remembered what I'm doing for Breakaway Day, actually. In all seriousness, I'm going to see King Lear at Shakespeare's Globe with Timmy Mallet. He's not in it, he's coming as a guest. So there you go.
Clang! Let me just pick that up for you, Richard. Nice bit of name dropping there. God, what a way to spend your time.
That'd be lovely, wouldn't it? Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Enjoy it. Well, let's see if any of our podsterons can top that.
Exactly.
And until next week, after the moon has left Earth's orbit, we'll say goodbye.
Yeah, see you on the other side.
Bye.
Bye.
Stage 1 complete.
Let's go.
Spectrum is green.
Right, now, Jamie, in honour, before we go, of Samira Ahmed appearing on Celebrity Mastermind, I have compiled for you 3 Space 1999 mastermind style questions. Are you up for this?
No.
Ready?
Well, not really, because I'm pretty terrible. But
come on, take your seat in the big black chair there.
Okay, hang on.
That's it. Right.
I'm in it.
Right. Name?
Jamie Anderson.
Occupation?
Producery, directory thing.
And the specialist subject that has been chosen for you?
Space 1999.
You have 3 questions on Space 1999, starting now. In the episode Dragon's Domain, how many days are said to have elapsed since the moon blew out of the Earth's orbit?
59.
No, 877. In the episode Catacombs of the Moon, what is the name of the engineer searching for titanium in order to build a new heart for his dying wife?
Pass.
Your final question. In the short fan-produced featurette Message from Moonbase Alpha, written by Johnny Byrne and set a decade after the last television episode The Dorcons, who are the only 2 characters mentioned in the present tense, indicating they may still be alive?
Oh, Dr. Russell and Alan Carter.
No, time's up. Well, I'm afraid you got the last one wrong. It's actually Maya and John Koenig. And you also passed on one question. In the episode Catacombs of the Moon, what is the name of the engineer searching for the titanium in order to build a new heart for his dying wife? His name was, in fact, Patrick Osgood.
Oh.
Well, you'd be rubbish, wouldn't you?
I would be terrible. What can I say?
Anyway, that put you under pressure, didn't it?
It really did, Richard. I'm slightly sweaty now, so thanks for doing that.
Well, go and cool off and have a nice day.
I might do that for you next time. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
You have been listening to the Gerry Anderson Podcast. Wasn't it fun?